different accolades, and you are in the country. I became a coach from showing to the whole Ghana populace that this man, after football, he will become a coach, because I became a coach player.
And Sunday, my fair clock, where Danike, my fair clock a galley, Nibacosto, when you have to take a boboli, you have to look of you, Bobon was it.
Chicago, no Nwaka, Nagbe, some of you by Miniba.
Oh, Messi, I can hear your yake into machine, Bammy, or local fee. Oh, look back, my name into machine.
My often a bone and tower lager or you.
Oh, look, fine. And I don't get shift of Lingalangako. A year won't know me, will expect you fine. Ninja 7 is J. No go buy here fine. She may go make a poison. Only tree but for few she me.
Coaching is putting your thinking into action. That is what coaching is about. Now, I studied them, I showed them, I revisited the match they played against us. Then I saw that we gave them enough space to operate, because they are full of techniques. The boys, the 14, 20, 10, 8, 12. Very with the ball when you give them space. So we try something called tracking and getting free. Track them, get free and play. So we deny them the space for them to maneuver.
In terms of power play, it's zilch. If you watch our game against Mali, the young man was running away from taking the ball. He didn't want it. Give me away. He was practically running away. When we were being marooned and we were under attack from the Malians, and he had the opportunity of staking a claim in the team. Anytime an attempt was made to him with the ball, with the pass, he's running away, leaving the ball, hiding behind opponent. This whole Telemundo is like it's something that sometimes
for the uninitiated, Telemundo is a channel that shows telenovelas.
Yes.
So this is like a soap opera.
It's like a soap opera. This clearly is a soap opera. It's winding down. So let's call Extremadura man from Extremadura man. Bola. When the boy is coming to the player, he's running away. You know what's the game? And shockingly, there's a certain miraculous acrobatism.
Charlie, I like the last two. Give me the conclusion.
Charlie.
My two minus and my hips don't lie. Charlie. Too much. Tusha. Perfection. Oh, Tusha, you are perfection. Charlie. One more line. Oh, Charlie. I say, my two minus and my hips don't lie.
We were there, then we heard that Cote d'Ivoire have demanded $20,000 before they play the World Cup. So we was like, damn, this is the first time we qualify for World Cup.
So well.
So we did the meeting. I, John Mensah, Stephen Appiah, Bafojan, Sami Kofo, and the Yusuf Chipsa was accountant, you know. So he was with a pen, you know. We are 5 there. Someone and the other guys were there. So we was like, come on. So what do? We qualified for first time. We are going to play Italy. Kai, you know, our guys say we can't beat Italy. Come on.
I see. No, Mr. said, Master son players are cooked about Mamma Tim Master. Players are better, Master son. Tim Lanoy shit. Tim would have been players in Mammy. Sakim Siege. Where? Sakim Siege. Aha. Timo Verna. What's it? Timo Verna. Aha. Caves. Why? Caves. Caves, I saw him. Is a sister circulator, only be more. Sister circulator, only be more. A year, almost a Brazil anyway. Yes, I know. Brazil, anyway. Almost one said syllables. Tiago Silva. Tiago Silva. You say
me the Felix in on against stand. My stand be say me Adamu. I not gonna need my job. Go marry. No, you see, I don't need my job. Go marry.
So you refuse to they punish them.
They're not the punishment. It serves you right. No, not the punishment. See. You choose. You choose love over job. That is exactly what you do. Because see what Richard go do. Football no day. Richard go marry.
Yeah.
So with the footballer, see, from August 2019 to December 29, we don't play football. You marry. We start league after we fall. You say they go marry.
That be the time where money catch.
No. So you choose love over career. And so if today you get your lover, the coach say they give you more time to go chop love. So it's not a big deal. Me, I guess that I thought that this matter.
Does Don Bote still want to play football? You are 36 years old.
Forget about the age.
We cannot forget about the age, Don. You are 36.
Yeah, 36. You doubt 36. Inner me, forget about the age. What you want me to come and do for you?
You still think you can perform at the highest level?
Why?
In Ghana?
Yeah. Not in Ghana, sir.
Anywhere?
Yeah.
You train?
Serious.
By yourself?
Always.
Why don't you want to join a club and train?
You see, that's what I'm saying. Them themselves, they don't believe themselves. The coaches don't believe themselves. They are not real coaches. They don't. You have to believe yourself that no, this guy can do it for me. If you believe me, I can do it. But so far as you just relax yourself, no. If I come safe, I won't get that spirit because you don't believe me.
So you think that if a Premier League team were to give you an opportunity to play, you would make an impact?
Ghana, yeah.
Yes.
I can play past all the current players.
The
current players in Ghana Premier League.
That's a serious statement coming from somebody who hasn't played in almost a year.
You know something? I know myself. That's why I said, if you don't know me, you don't know me.
You see, as for a game, like when you get a chance, every blessed player will decide to score, and then will decide to catch the ball. So when you both decide together, then you miss the chance. I decide differently, and he also decided differently, and our decision was together. That's why he was able to catch the ball.
It's a wonderful Friday night. Today came with Ghana's quota in the EPL increasing. Yes. Andrea Ayew is back in the Premier League, believe it or not. Benjamin Nketiah, I'm back in the seat, believe it or not. Sports Panorama, proudly brought to us by Betway and Good Day Energy Drink. We are live. Well, I get to see Kamal Dean doing his thing. Early kickoff, Premier League. Good stuff. Oh boy. You, of course, out there can text in 0549-986-996, 0549-986-996. I typically don't start like this, but yeah, straight into the Premier League stuff, straight into the good. Nathan Kwao is here. Evans Ofochu Manso, aka Pichichi, is here. Susu Graham is here.
Sir.
I have a new name for Susu Graham.
Let me speak.
No.
I want to say something.
You don't know how to say that. Please, can I say something?
Polite people.
Thank you very much. Of course. Oh, the rabbi. The rabbi, today you must tell us what it means for a player to terminate his contract from the rich Qataris to come and play for Forest. You must give us your verdict on this transfer, what it means. Please usher us into the show.
Introduction, aka Niaba.
Oh, Niaba.
Naka Niaba like a bar introduction me no bank
Niaba,
aka Niaba.
Apologies, Niaba.
You was about when it's Wanima Namaswa. You are no bale waba. Beshe ni waba fen wogbe ami ni Ghana ma mu fe abowotwe wala ke mo fia mo dumo jala mi mo fia mo ewo jala ni wo ho ni wala ke bia ka ho he ma he o na ke asho hin e yo wa Ghana na lo and wo football e ba hin lo wo football e ba hin lo e ba hin lo yo wa bo Paul e acheche man shikano acheche ma winning bonus per diem na acheche no ni gbe no be mi ton mi na fi o ni agbeme ya football e mi ni heni ni bi ehye yo wa jaboe bono ba nyo he wo football ka jacket okreku ke e man bi e de wo ke bono chimoko be wo la ke obanye wo hie no ba ponka na football wo ba he ye de esimo ba he ye de ake football wo ha na fite mene wo ha na fite wo
fite
mene e fite wo wo ba he football mene program ne wo ba jeni bi wujinpo no for Ghana man bi what's afi what's all chile me ke yo wa ya ba no ba bi na ko we ni bi no ba me he bi ne igba ma bi ba na akeshi bi na no kwale son wo yo
Anokwale
yemo hie yemo ka chan wo me na no kwale aye wo manye ya Yesu ba me amen.
Well, let's start off from where the transfer window left us, and then we'll pick up the pieces from there. Andre Ayew is where we begin the show today. Black Stars captain is back in the Premier League. From the looks of it, Nottingham Forest fans seem pretty happy about it. It seems like they remember his goal-scoring exploits from the Championship, so they are pretty excited about it. Let me start with you, Nathan. I remember we spoke about this on Donkomi deadline day, and you were like, you were not sure exactly what this transfer was all about. Then we were linking him to Everton.
Yes.
Now it happens that he turned down and moved to Everton and will be with Forest. Quick thoughts. I mean, it was unraveling yesterday bit by bit from deadline day, and it eventually has happened. He's been unveiled. He says he's happy. He's already granted his first interviews and whatnot. The Black Stars captain is back. People said he was finished, and so he went to play in a retirement league. Well, he's shown everybody that he's still as competitive as it is. Does he have the body to carry him through this next phase?
Wow, it's the first thing I would like to say is that Andrea assessed all his options and chose the one that was the most secure, which was going to play under Steve Cooper once again. The two of them had a great time together at Swansea. Too bad they couldn't make it back into the Premier League, but Andrea enjoyed his time there. Steve Cooper is signing a player he knows, and he's signing a player who he believes still has something left in him to give the team. Nottingham Forest need goals to survive. They need to get points on the board. They need some experience in the penalty area, and that's why he's taking this gamble for 6 months. Andrea clearly is not the same player he was when he was at Swansea the last time or when he was in England a few years ago. Things have changed. The legs have gone. Now he'll have to rely on a lot of experience, and I'm sure he and Steve Cooper will have a long, extensive chat as to what exactly he can give Nottingham Forest. But, you know, I look at Nottingham Forest, and in 2 windows, they've signed 30 players. I mean, you find these things synonymous with Asante Kotoko and Hearts of Oak, signing 30, 25 players and things. But
Yeah, they've done it. In the last few months, I thought Steve Cooper was getting his unit together, gradually understanding this team. He's added one more player. I don't know what does to the mix. I don't know what does to the chemistry. But from a Ghanaian perspective, it's nice to see 10 players in the Premier League. We'll get to see them week in, week out. For us as media people, it means only one thing. It means that now that there are 10 players, there are probability that they will grant a lot more interviews that will generate content for us. You get that probability is increased by 20-30%. So that's great. I'd love to see what Andrea has to offer. I would really love to see what he can give Nottingham Forest. And it's a deal that makes sense. 6 months. If it doesn't work out, they cut their losses, they move on. If it works out, they'll think of an extension. So, yeah, I think time will tell what he gives Nottingham Forest. But Steve Cooper is going for a player he knows, and he's trusting that it will come together for him and the club.
I'll come to Pichichi and Susu very quickly. But, Coach, you've always held a stance on Andre Ayew for a minute about where he should be playing, how he should be used. Did this come to you as a surprise that he had decided to give up the golf for the Premier League again?
Wrong move.
Yeah?
Wrong move. Look, like you said,
you don't call me
no, at all. Padieta.
Oh,
no, netan.
Oh, what does that mean?
Yes,
He's
the guy
done
is
it.
finished.
He's finished.
Okay.
He shouldn't be going there. Even the Northern people, Forest people themselves are aware that he's finished. That's why they've given him only 6 months contract.
Oh, I mean, that's for the rest of the campaign.
No, but it's like Enzo Fernandez, rest of the campaign.
But Enzo is a youngster coming into his own.
Man, I bet him. He doesn't have a team. Marcel Sabitzer, we all know he's a Bayern Munich player. No, if he's coming to Man U for 6 months, at the end of the 6 months, he's going back to Bayern Munich. Man, I bet him. No more, how do you say bet him in French? Mene bet him.
Like, as in what?
This guy is clubless.
He's clubless.
Yeah. How do you say
Donc, il est sans équipe.
Il est sans équipe. Il est sans équipe. Bet him.
Yeah.
So if Bomo bet him, and then he's been signed on by a club who believes that they believe that this is the man for the job, they will not give him a 6 months contract. That even tells you that they are aware that he cannot do the job in a top flight European league that the English league.
33.
He's finished. No more FWJ. You know he. We saw it. Look, I was thinking that he terminated that contract to sign for another team in and around the same.
Yeah, but initially when the news
location
broke, there were some people who were speculating that he was going to Al Rayyan.
Yes,
that's his team's their main rival.
Honestly, when he abrogated the contract, my first instinct was this guy is plotting a move back to the Premier League. That's the first thing I thought. But no, I'm serious because look, Al Sadd can probably pay you better than almost all the teams in Qatar. So it doesn't make financial sense to want to go to another team in the Gulf.
Why would Andre even think that he can come and do the job in the APL?
Because he's worked with Steve Cooper before. It was successful. He scored probably. He had probably his most prolific
in the championship. In the championship. In the championship. Not in the Premier League. He couldn't bring Swansea back to it. You see, when he came to the Premier League first,
West Ham.
Compare those days. Swansea the first time that he made you remember that? What was it when he went to West Ham, his first game at the bridge? He collapsed the bridge into pieces. Compare that Andre to the Andre now. Unless you don't want to be factual, you don't want to be honest with the fact. Wrong move. Completely wrong move.
You think the league is too physical, too fast for him?
The league is too physical, it's too fast for him. He just cannot cope. The only means possible to get him to do something is for him to play 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Thankfully, we do the EPA on this station.
Ajewani.
Be our yo. Chelewani daji.
Explain that.
Oh no,
how do you explain that?
Chelewani daji. You know, Chele is what cola.
Yes.
It's Goro.
Goro, bitter cola.
So they are
if you say you can feel the bitterness,
if you say that
put the cola in your mouth,
you are a man, or you can stand the bitterness of cola.
Chew it.
That argument is in your mouth that you solve it.
You don't just go and talk bad.
So it means that if you say you sure that you can do big things. Just as a cultural reference, Tiny dropped that line. You know that Bradford song? Ado.
About the fuck.
Bro, Tiny said, she remo e bagana.
Nakani.
No chele
1 year.
Chele 1 year.
Da
joy. Ike manye egbe omo. Chele 1 year da joy.
So he should go and do it. Me, the Andre I have known over the years, I have already said he's lost 5 years of pace from the Tutu Andre. And if you are taking the current Andre, golf or maybe even in the Turkish league, he couldn't do it all. You remember?
Yeah. That spell at Fenerbahce.
Even that spell at Fenerbahce, he couldn't do it. So to 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Nottingham Forest, they are struggling for goals. Till Cooper looks at the bench. Andre, come on, get up quick. Hit up. No, throw him in there. One cross, bang. That one he can do. But Jenny Ebaniba game, she's come to start the game and be no more. Blaster then check captain at Aka Hayeti.
Let's stay.
I'm telling you the current status of the player.
No, let's stay on first.
If we could change the baby jet from captainship to general captain, we have gotten to the stage where the day should be made the general captain of the team. Simple. Because his output, like we saw in the World Cup, he couldn't even give one forward pass. A half forward pass, Kume. Mekumeke, meaning Kante plus Enzo's got to cancel. You go to Kante then chair. Improve that man for this equation to work. That is not a feasible equation.
That name has come to fruition.
It is not a feasible equation.
Kante plus Enzo.
It's got to cancel. Yeah, that's it.
But why is it that in the last few years, Chelsea fans always come up with these, I don't know what to call it, whether equations, abbreviation. First, they started off with something. It was Kukurudu. Then the most recent one was Kukurudu. Come on, Gona. Ona,
Coach, land on the Andre point.
Kante plus Enzo. It's got to cancel. It's a wrong equation. Because even the Kante to be added to the Enzo, he's not working.
You are digressing. Let me go to
No. Peji. I don't come in this move. No, wrong move. You don't take him to the most physical.
So give me something positive. Coach says, give me something positive on this, Andre. I'm excited about it. Give me something positive on it.
You want me to lie?
Oh, Charlie, what's the meaning of this?
No. Look, he can contribute, but if you are talking about
5 minutes,
I agree with Coach. I don't think he's up to the stand to contribute. And in international football, the pace is slower. So it's a viable solution. Even in international football, we saw that the lack of pace was there. So much more in the club game where it's going to be difficult. I honestly felt he would have been more used to Everton, in all honesty. But
How so?
Because they need the goals. They don't have any goals. They need goals. And if they are Sean Dyche, they're not going to be playing with so much speed. They'll kick the ball long very quickly and then try and do their things with long balls. So you don't need to be moving the ball quickly. You don't need your touch. You just need to be in the box to make things happen. Yeah. You see, but when I look at Nottingham Forest and all the players they bought about 30 players now. Right? Yeah, 30. And I'm looking at the 30 players they've bought. Some of them have not even worked out. Someone like Emmanuel Dennis, they're already going to get rid of him. I can't see what he adds they don't already have. In terms of, they have goal scorers on their bench. Maybe Steve Cooper doesn't like them. So
somebody he can trust.
Maybe because I don't even see where the minutes are going to come from him.
Look, even a player like Jesse Lingard.
He's out of shape.
I think they're trying to get rid of Jesse Lingard.
He's struggling to break into the team.
And so I see a lot of Southampton,
Jesse Lingard
Forest players.
If you put Jesse Lingard on the left, they do on the right. On the marks, get set, P go. Now my first. Agbala, I race. Now my Jesse Lingard,
and Jesse Lingard is old. Pichichi, you get the final word on this, and then we move on to Kamal Dean, because I'm excited about that.
Well, for Andre, I think that one of the key reasons why he went to the Gulf region was because of the project of working under Xavi Hernandez. And so with Xavi leaving the club for Barcelona, I felt that he just wanted to wrap up the World Cup with the Black Stars there and then come back to Europe. I felt that going to Qatar in the first place was a wrong move because at that age that he left Europe, he was quite good to play in Europe.
Still had enough to offer.
Exactly, in European football. So leaving in the first place was a mistake. I'm sure after some years in the Gulf area, he felt he needs to get back. I agree with Coach when he says he's lost his mojo. The pace is not there anymore. So I'm thinking on the wings, Andre will not fit on the wings for Nottingham Forest. He can't even start a game. I don't see him lasting 90 minutes in any English Premier League game where Nottingham Forest will need goals. I think I'm expecting him to be more of a substitute, a cameo, and then be used as either a number 9 or a number 10, where balls will be floated into the penalty area for Andre to use his head more. He has lacked that pace. But
hold on. Let me ask the listeners out there.
Tries to,
let me ask the listeners out there what they genuinely make of Andre's move. Listeners, I mean, what do you think of Andre Ayew? What would represent a satisfactory 6-month spell for Andre at Nottingham Forest? Let me know.
There's one thing that Andre said, which I think that gives me confidence. He says this is a manager who knows how to bring the best out of him. That's how he described Steve Cooper. He says what? He's a special coach who knows how to bring the best out of me. The words of Andre Ayew. So I'm sure once he has worked with Cooper before, he believes that Cooper knows his strength, and as such, he's going to play on this strength and help him flourish in the English Premier League. The pace is, I think, a little higher than Andre Ayew's pace at the moment. You've seen him for Black Stars. He hardly runs with the ball. He's not the Andre Ayew that we knew some few years ago. So yes, I'm expecting him to be used sparingly in the English Premier League. I think he can score some goals for Nottingham Forest. Yes, 6 months is too short a time for him to make a major impact. I think that after 6 months, he will need to look for another club, not in the English Premier League, because clearly he's lost that pace to play top flight EPL football.
Let me just make this why I think he will struggle. This Nottingham Forest team, they will not dominate any opponent in the Premier League with ball possession. So most often they sit back and play on the counter attack.
When they change strategy, you come into the game.
When are they going to change strategy? They themselves, they are not good enough to change strategy. If you look at them, whatever they've done now, they've kept it very tight because there were moments where they were not scoring goals and were just conceding. So now, in order to keep it very tight, they put more men behind the ball and limit the attacking play. So when they get the ball, the manner in which they tend to do their transition, very quick, very fast. And I don't think he can live with that. So for me, the wrong move.
Andre Ayew, let me read a few messages coming in so far. Yes, all the way to the top. Daniel Texan from Cape Coast says, good to see more Ghanaians in the Premier League. Hoping for a routine win for Arsenal this weekend. The only team that matters. Alex Dwayne in London says, I'm really happy for Andre because it's a good decision to reunite with his former manager. Lambert from Dodo says, Ben and team, the greatest news I have heard this year is that Mason Greenwood news. I'm happy such an amazing talent is not going to waste. I hope he has learnt his lessons though. And if I were him, I will pass left when I see Lille at right. Sheriff from Charlie. Sheriff.
I mean, you're more Sheriff. You
good to relax for Sheriff. Sheriff from Omanjo says, good evening, guys. Thank God it's another Friday. I'm so elated that Greenwood's case has been dropped. It's my prayer that United don't think of selling him, but they should rather hand him over to a psychologist. Well, the word is that they're actually split on. There's a split within the team.
Internal investigation.
So the outcome will be the same. No charges back to the club.
Charlie,
but I think it goes beyond that because if you read the stories, the split is now the club, the club's image in terms of what the British society will think and what it means in terms of the money, the commercial aspect of it. So
all those personal sponsors have been Nike. Is it Nike? Or they just confirm that they've given back his sponsorship. They will pay the 1 year whatever they give the money back.
And the truth is, what it takes to be sacked from your job and what it takes to go to prison are two different things.
He's a 21-year-old boy. He will learn.
But that's the thing. What it takes to be gross misconduct as a football player and what it takes to go to jail, there are two different bars. So they might still decide that based on what they've seen, he's done enough for them to terminate his contract. So
after that one, it's not happen.
Interesting next couple of days. It will be interesting to see how this plays out.
Look, can you imagine the whole state apparatus say drop charge? The United. What?
No, but that's what I'm
play less.
coach, that's what I'm saying.
Coach,
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they should sack him. I didn't say they should sack him.
But you see, it is,
I didn't say they should sack him.
Just like Nathan said, it's more commercial than just football.
Yeah. No, but he will play for United.
No, but you see, Chris, I get you. We all want him to come back. I'm saying that Manchester United.
This is not as straight cast. If it was as straight,
but do you sincerely think that United will do an investigation that will mean that they will sack him?
No, coach, that's the point I'm making. That what it takes to go to jail, what it takes for your boss to fire you are different things.
Perhaps so United might say that, well, the Crown Prosecution Service say charges have been dropped, you are not going to jail. But we think that the damage that has been
misbehaved in a way that we don't like. That's what we're saying. That
he's already on the payroll. He's being paid.
No, that's that one.
They never stop paying.
They never stop paying.
They've actually restored him to their website.
Yes, you see, I'm saying
he's been there since the investigation.
I'm saying that if you understand Manchester United and you understand how this club, until very recently, conducted itself, even in transfers, for many years, Man United would not even fight with a club over a player because they will see that, no, why should we do it? It is wrong. Why should we fight another club for a player? All I'm saying is that knowing Man United, the way Man United loves its image and its history. Chris, I think that
that was a different era.
That was a different era.
A lot has changed.
And a lot has changed.
A lot has changed. So
I want him to come back, but I'm only saying that. No, I'm saying that. All of us would want to play again. I'm only saying that if you look at the context where we are now,
Nathan,
global sport and society, Man United will have a very, very important decision.
But if there's any club in the world who should stand by Greenwood and help the boy refine himself and become better to society, is United.
You see, I understand. But Man United have to think about
from the age of how many? 11 or 6 years. You can't turn your back on him because
but Man United needs to also think about But you see, the point is he did misconduct himself.
That's what I'm saying, that he's done that. So internally, I'm not going to do that again. We move on.
Well, let's see if that's how it plays out. More messages coming through. Box Iron, aka Nyauhiani Bidie.
What is this?
Box Iron, aka Nyauhiani Bidie, is whether it's going to work out or not. The day is going to make the mullah, aka pension pay. Congrats to him. I think he would have made more money being in Qatar.
I'm sure.
I mean, you make more money in the golf. Amai Jewa says Sports Panorama, the realest sports show in Ghana. Another beautiful week. Imagine, excited to listen to you guys. Lipu Mama says, great evening, my Sports Panorama crew. So is Klopp still at post?
Yes, he is.
I said Liverpool.
He's got nowhere to he has nowhere to go.
Lipu Mama says Liverpool. Shitolo says,
one. The names. You know what's funny? When you work at that shows, you don't see names like this. So.
It's only on. Probably the same guys have been texting into the morning show with their government names. Kwabena from Ebri, Michael from Osu, the Sports Panorama, Abensuo, Box Iron.
Charlie. I've seen all kinds of names on this show, man. Chitolo says, good evening, seniors. Chelsea is winning this game on a copper plate. We need to be in the 30+ points to boost our hopes. Blue is the color for balls again. Abensuo from Spintex, he says that Kante plus Enzo is equal to Kanzo. Chelsea inside sweet pass Atoni. What?
How Atoni inside is sweet?
What? Like,
why is the talk sense?
The day Ayu is out of gas and the finished player. Wrong move. George from OUB. Mr. Sari from Apollonia says there is a saying that when cats are not around, mice will be jumping around. For the past years, whenever Chelsea are finished in the top 4, Arsenal struggles. See this year, while Chelsea is not on form, they are jumping around saying they are winning the league. London will always remain blue. They should pray Chelsea remain in this mess for 3 years. Yao Okreku Yirenchi from Shire Hill says, my greetings to Ni Abba. Without him, Sports Panorama is really incomplete.
It's not true.
Reinhard Saki says, we now know the team that can say there's cash and not the Red Devil. I have not seen Red Devils with bank accounts. Kobe Jones from La says, good evening, Ben and Team Charlie. It looks like Todd Bowley has some Yautog music on play, like spending. He looks like he's on some Chelsea opium spendthrift, and that's what Chelsea do. Meanwhile, the test for Potter to keep his position as Chelsea gaffer will start tonight. Not that I care, but he needs time if he wants to keep his job. The signs should show tonight. Okay, Alvinho from Akosombo says, Nketia, please tell namely the record of Benfica players to Chelsea is not good. Remember David Luiz, Ramirez, and
said it's very good.
It's very good. Okay, yeah. I think
David Luiz came there.
Ramirez was not from Benfica though. He was from Porto.
No, Ramirez from Benfica. Yeah.
Brazilian Ramirez?
Yeah, even
Matic
all from Benfica.
I remember David Luiz's first goal. It was against Man United. Some rescheduled game.
Interesting.
It broke my heart.
Yeah, Vinta from Kokrobite says, as for today, God, grace should find us. Chelsea badly need a win. More messages. This one here. Sir Bob from Ashama says, the way Kamal Dean plays, just watch him. He will be too good for the EPL and a lot of Champions League teams very soon. Need Tojo from Tema Newtown says, wish all the Ghanaian players in the EPL the best of the season. This one here says, hopefully Chelsea come to their winning ways because EPL is not sweet anymore because of Chelsea. Because Chelsea fans are silent everywhere.
Who told you
Coach,
so?
Charlie, hold on. Charlie, Sam, when you are sending the message, please take your time. What is this?
These days when I'm reading, I've basically learned to read and edit on the fly. So I'm literally correcting things while I go, but it's what it is. Like, let's talk about Kamal. Let's talk about Kamal Dean for a bit. How do you feel when one of your country's brightest prospects joins a relegation-threatened team? Literally the team at the bottom of the Premier League. How do you feel? He's their record signing as well in terms of money paid for a player. So it almost seems obvious that he will not be seeing the bench. Nathan, let me start with you on this one. So Kamal Dean to Southampton. We heard about this also before it happened. I think a day or so. He had posted a few hints on his social media handles. Eventually, the Saints announced him. They've done a full-blown profile of him. They seem excited to have him. Is this a project he should be excited walking into?
I mean, he should be excited about the new level he has to play at. Excuse me. Whatever it is, if you get to sign for a Premier League club, it raises your profile another 20-30%. And it puts you on this level where you want to do your best, you want to work hard, you want to prove that you do belong at that level. Mm-hmm. So I think Kamal Dean would have looked at everything and he would have embraced the challenge, because it is a challenge. You are going into a team that's virtually at the bottom of the league. They aren't doing well. They have between now and May to save themselves and stay in the Premier League. And Southampton are a huge club. So I'm sure Kamal Dean would have looked at all of it. My own personal hunch or suspicion is that in all of this, he must have spoken to Mo Salisu. He must have spoken to Mo Salisu. Salisu must have told him that, see, you've got quality, come around. I'm here. You settle. I'm here. I'll help you settle. And then you can show the world what you can do. So I'm sure he must have made all these considerations. I do understand the worries about Southampton's future as a Premier League team. And those are very genuine concerns, because if you look at what's happening to Southampton in the league, you wonder, can they turn it round? A few months ago, I would have been concerned. Under Nathan Jones, it looks like it's coming together gradually. I hope they have enough time to save themselves, because it will get very complicated as the weeks roll by. So I'm happy for Kamal Dean. I hope the decision it pays off, because the last thing you want is to make this jump, then Southampton gets relegated. And the Championship, when we say that it's a tough league, we don't say because it's a cliche. We've seen teams go down and have struggled to come up. We have seen teams go down there and they will struggle, and it takes almost 2-3 rebuilds to come back. Not a lot of players will go down not a lot of players want to even do it at all. Yep. Look at the profile of the Southampton team. James Ward-Prowse, Musa Jenepo, some of the guys we've seen in the League Cup, right? Shea Adams, for example. If you look at that, the profile of this Southampton team, they would want to
especially with their forwards. I mean, look at the forwards. So they have Maitland-Niles, Joe Aribo, like you mentioned, Prowse,
Mhm.
Armstrong, Genepo, El Yunusi, Carlos Alcaraz. Very exciting player, actually. They bought him from Argentina
And then
just this
lost
January.
the guy who scored against Man City in
Yeah,
the league.
they
Mara.
have Kamal Dean, Diamond Edwards, Armstrong, Shea Adams,
You know,
Osic,
so
Sekou Mara.
it would really be sad if they go down. But in trying to save themselves, they have brought in Kamal Dean. They believe he's exciting. They believe he's got the prospect. They believe they can give him an environment in which his best talents will be exhibited. And they need his best talents together with the others to get this team on the right track. So I think over time, he has 6 months or so, 5.5 to 6 months, whatever, to prove himself and to save Southampton. If they survive this, great. They get to start again on a clean slate next season. The target is to survive. And I'm sure they would have weighed all of it and said, Kamal Dean is young. He's got potential. Maybe he can help us beat the drop, and then we will see what next season presents.
Let me come to coach on this. You weren't happy about Andre. How do you feel about Kamal Dean as well?
I'm also not happy.
Ni Abba.
No, look, I'm not happy at all.
You mean you're not Donkomi in this move?
Oh, see, look.
He had options with RB Leipzig and Everton.
That would have the Leipzig move, in my view, should have been the move.
I think he didn't want to sit on the bench.
Leipzig would not have guaranteed him a starting berth.
Look, is he the answer? You yourself, is he the answer to Southampton problem? No, he doesn't answer anything.
Big question, actually.
That's not.
That's a big question. Yeah.
That is the way I'm looking at it. Okay.
Because even at Rennes, he struggled for consistent playing time.
He started well, and
he struggled with injuries as well.
Anybody I've spoken to, my contacts in France,
yes,
everybody has said the same thing. That Kamal Dean has potential. He just hasn't. He's not been consistent, and if it's not like they have a problem with him.
That is
they
why
understand that he's young, so you
should
have
be
those
going to a team that will enhance his development. A team that, per their position, will not put unnecessary pressure on him to go and perform, because he's not that experienced. His decision makings are still not the very top notch that you want to like depend on for him to try and rescue a situation. If you look at this Southampton team, truth be told, they've got so many players just like him. And at the end of the day, as the most expensive attacking player in the team, he would be required to score some goals to get them out of where they are now. And he's not that type of player. In addition to scoring goals, he will be required to give some assist to the likes of Adams and Armstrong to get them to rescue the situation. And again, the coach is going to be playing, and I don't trust that coach.
Nathan Jones.
No one trusts him. He's not. This is his first big job.
He's not me. So.
You see, this is his first big job. Already, the people at Southampton, the supporters, the fans, were not happy when Hustle Hilton was sacked and the job was given to this coach. And if you look at all these factors, in addition to the fact that Kamal Dean too of late, his fitness has not been the same. He's not stayed fit for a very long time. So that has not given him the level of consistency that he would need in his game to get him to even flourish regularly, week in, week out. So it's like it would have been better if he had gone to a team who's got players, experience. He will start today, the next day he's coming from the bench, the next one he starts. So now his performances will force the coach say that we are not going to start him or we'll start him. I would have preferred him in that situation. Now he walking into this Southampton team.
He's a record signing.
He's going to be asked to go in there and prove your wealth. And at the end of the day,
I think as soon as he gets his clearance, they are throwing him into
the mix. You understand what I'm saying? So me, again, Charlie, I really don't commit this. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to see him go to the championship. And from the way things are going with this Southampton, it isn't that they are not creating chances. They are creating but they are not scoring and they are conceding.
Yeah, a lot of goals.
It's like they have to
They can't
score
defend.
3 goals per game to win games. Now that I'm saying that Kamadi, he walks into that team, he doesn't solve any problem. Rather, if they don't take care, the problems is going to be aggravated. Not by his presence, but for the fact that
There's pressure.
there's pressure and the money, in my view, per whatever Southampton need has been wrongly spent.
I mean, coach is right. They're in a relegation battle. So any signing who's coming in, you are there to save them from relegation. It's a very big task. And for someone who, since Northern, has not really played regular first team football, I think it's a big ask. Coach is right. But on a personal level for his career, it's a good move. In the sense that now you're in the Premier League, you're in the biggest shop window in the world. Performing in the Premier League raises your prospects so much in terms of how even other teams see you. Because going from sitting on the bench and Rennes are a very good team, always challenging for European places in France. You go from the bench and Rennes, you are starting. There's about, let's say, 18 games left of the Premier League, correct?
Yeah, 18.
Let's say he starts like 15, gets maybe 5 goals, 3 assists. Even if they go down, a lot of clubs will look at that and think, this is someone who can do something for us. This is someone who can make a difference. So we could see Southampton going down, but he's still picked up by another club for 30, 40 million if he performs well. So there's always that possibility. It's a bit, it's jarring, but that's the truth. We have to be realistic about where Southampton are and how likely they are to go down. If he plays well and they stay up, that's even better because you've got into a team, you've done well, they've survived, you have another go at it. So if he's able to get his performances and if he's able to get going, hit the ground running, it will be a great move for his career because either way he'll win. The only way he loses if he doesn't perform well, they get relegated. And now you can't leave. Nobody wants you. They've paid 25 million. They are thinking to themselves that, okay, you weren't able to perform in the Premier League, but you should be able to perform in the Championship. So you have to play there for a season. Ideally, I don't think that's where Kamadi wants to go.
Championship will be brutal for him.
And Rennes were playing European football this season and last season. This is a team that plays in the Conference League, Europa League, whatever. So to go from that and within 6 months you're in the Championship, it would not be. It's not
a massive decline.
It's a massive downgrade. Luckily for him, because he's young, you can recover from something like that. But that's not where he wants to go. So I can see where coach is coming from. But I want to be optimistic about it and believe that he will hit the ground running. He will make a difference so that regardless of if Southampton are relegated or not,
he will find other suitors.
He will find other suitors and his career will continue. That's how I want to see it. But it's very important to choose your next move. You have to choose the next move right. And I understand him because going to Leipzig where you're not assured first team football, it can kill your career in the sense that now you're on the bench for 3 years, not getting anything done, you're not making progress.
At Leipzig, he would have sat on the bench like that.
Well, it depends on how much you
play. Then his performances will tell the coach whether he becomes a regular. And that is what every player, in my view, should do.
But I also understand going into a situation where you are the man. You know that they are going to play you.
Versus knowing
you have to go and fight for your place.
Because pressure.
And the thing is fighting for your places. Coaches are fickle beings sometimes. It can be anything that they just don't like about the way you play. Even someone like Pep Guardiola said something he didn't like about Grealish. So that's why he limited Grealish's game time in his first season. He traps the ball at the outside of his foot. He doesn't like that it wastes time when you get the ball. So you have to take another time. So if he keeps trapping the outside of his foot, he won't play. So you have to stop that. So coaches can be, that's only because Pep is one of the greatest coaches. He's extensively covered. We are hearing that detail. But other coaches may have similar details that they can just look at you and decide that they don't like these things.
So based on what you are saying, there's also that possibility he could walk into the Southampton team over the weekend and his performances may be.
I believe
the pressure is that if you are the record side, they are under more pressure to play you.
And the more pressure you subject yourself to,
because
he's
a young man,
he's young.
It's a very volatile situation.
I feel like because Southampton is almost like he's 70% guaranteed to play because of the fee and all that kind of stuff. I think that's what influenced him. Because if we are looking at in terms of pedigree, unless maybe the wages Southampton were offering were so much more than Leipzig, if you look at it in terms of pedigree, Leipzig and Southampton, there's no contest in which to join. So there must have been,
could even be playing the Champions League.
Exactly. So there must have been something about what Leipzig offered him that did not sit well. Maybe it was the first team football, maybe it was the wages. We are not privy to all that information, but I believe that he made an informed decision, and I want to believe that game time was the main factor.
Pichichi, round it up for us.
So a quick one. I think that for me, clearly, Southampton signed him not because of his goals. Last season, he scored just 4 league goals in 20 appearances. So he's not that player you go for when you want goals to survive in the English Premier League. I think that they look at his prospects, they look at his age, and knowing Southampton and their ability to nurture players and sell them, they are looking at a long-term cashing in on this talent. I think they've looked at what he offers, his ability, and I'm sure they've looked at the fact that if we are to nurture this player very well, just as we got huge fans for Sadio Mane, we could groom this player into a solid superstar someday. At the moment, I agree with Coach, he's not a solution to their current issues. Yeah. I think that they are looking for a long-term prospect, a long-term player that we can nurture well and then sell.
That would have been a fantastic point. In fact, it is a fantastic point, but I would have bought more into that if they were 10th, 9th, Premier League status guarantee, and you throw him in there, then you know that he's not going to get relegated. Now it will be up to him to do it in the Premiership to attract the big guys to come for him. But where is that? Look, get the relegation more.
What do you think about Kamal Dean's move to Southampton? Will they survive the Premier League? Will he hit the ground running? Again, what will represent a successful half season for Kamal Dean at Southampton? Let's talk about what's going on at Chelsea. Controversy today is that Aubameyang has been unregistered so that Enzo Fernandez can be registered for the Champions League. Boy, money talks. Yes, so
Enzo
Mudryk, yes. There's one more person.
Felix.
Yes, so Joao Felix. Yes.
So no Benoit Badiashile in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Hakim Ziyech.
No, Hakim Ziyech.
No, he's not been
That's for Hakim Ziyech. He needs to be sitting in the bleachers.
In the Champions League.
He needs to be. He needs to get nosebleed seats when Chelsea train.
He's starting today.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Ziyech.
I thought he would need some time to get his head together because the guy was stranded in PSG's office.
They didn't want to sell him. They sabotaged him.
It's a clear message.
3 different times.
And personally, the inside story is that he tried to he sent messages to Todd Bowley personally. Yeah. He didn't get any response.
So it's a message to him.
He got the Sarkodie treatment.
Even what Graham Potter said after his return is like, he's a very professional player. He will understand the situation, and he's part of his plan. So it tells you that they still like Ziyech.
Are they sure he's part of it? Because
he was very upset. He didn't have a place to stay. He didn't have a place to sleep that night.
Yeah.
Because in his mind,
he's moving.
He's moving.
Yeah.
He had done his part. PSG had done their part. They sent the documents to Chelsea. Chelsea responded to the email without. They said, "Oh, we didn't attach it. Oh no, we attached the wrong one."
They said they sent the wrong one 3 times, and it just makes me laugh that somebody was in the office either intentionally attaching the wrong form or they actually didn't know.
In fact, Bowley told them not to.
Hey, Charlie.
Apparently, because
this is like the fax machine
their
episode
concentration
all over
was
again.
On the Enzo Fernandez deal.
Everybody was in Portugal.
Have you heard apparently why Ronaldo left Inter Milan for Real Madrid?
No.
Apparently, Inter Milan sent him a contract by fax. But you know, back then, your phone line has connected to your computer to use internet. And apparently, Ronaldo's nephew was playing games on the internet. So the fax didn't come. In 2002.
The Lima.
R9.
So when his nephew was playing, so the contract didn't come. So he thought that Inter had abandoned him. So he went to Real Madrid. Meanwhile, someone was in the internet. So some of these things, it happens.
Crazy. Chelsea get Enzo. Quick thoughts about them not registering Aubameyang before I even ask about Enzo. Because Enzo is a player you liked. Enzo is one of those you wanted to bring home.
Yeah, he's a good player. I will not sit here.
I made
a statement. I didn't say that.
Oh, you didn't say that for Enzo?
I said
if in the summer
nobody pays the money, he will come home.
Okay.
And Chelsea themselves are aware that they will not qualify for Champions League.
So how? No, there's a lot of football left.
Why? Who are they going to kick out of the top 4? Arsenal, Man City, United, or Newcastle?
This is a bold claim.
They'll kick out United.
But they've enhanced their team.
They will come to Old Trafford. I'm declaring it here. Chelsea, when they come to Old Trafford, I'm AJ. Who's going to score for them? Harvest.
Joao Felix.
Charlie.
What did they do with Aubameyang now?
They are not. Graham Potter should be sacked immediately for taking that decision not to add Obama into the Champions League squad. He should be sacked. Do they have a recognized number 9 in that Champions League squad?
Obama he's not been on form though.
No, but this Chelsea team has not been on form. Now that you think you fixed the team, there's Felix, there's the boy from
Mudryk.
There's Enzo Fernandez. Now you've brought proper creators into the team, proper technicians into the team. Look, I can put my neck on the chopping board. If you create the chances for Aubameyang, you will put them in the back of the net. There's no established goal scorer in that Chelsea team than Aubameyang.
True.
So what are they thinking about?
Kai Havertz will come.
Who are these people?
They think Havertz will come good.
Told ball then game let me. I get Chelsea because look, let me go and stand outside now and trot. There's a good player at Citi FM. Can you get him? That's what they are doing.
They say when Boli and Egbali say crank up the jet,
you have to move.
90% of the time, the deal is done.
The deal is done.
I was into a
You see,
so for me,
honestly,
look,
they are not doing anything special. They're
for
just
me,
release close.
Yeah.
For me, that wasn't a wise decision. You see, you may tend to drop the player when you have somebody of his kind, or you have too many of such kind in the team. Then you want to sacrifice. But when you don't have any of that kind in the current team that you put out there, why do you drop him?
I think he's been very unfair.
João Felix is just going to be there for the next 4 months. I would have dropped João Felix because he's technically not a Chelsea player.
That would have caused a lot of trouble because they're paying a lot of money for him.
They
are paying money for him. Good money. 12 million in that short space.
They are playing Dortmund, isn't it? Dortmund, I don't trust them.
So Chelsea will qualify.
But they will not go beyond the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Because
these are very emphatic.
No, it will come down to goals. So. That Kante plus Enzo is got to Kanzo. Kante,
when was the last time Kante actually kicked them?
Look, when he comes, he will go again.
When was the last time?
And Chelsea have let Jorginho
go to Arsenal. Yep.
But that's why Enzo is. That's why Enzo is starting today.
You understand? So for me, that Aubameyang move wasn't a wise decision, and I'm very certain. So time will tell.
So I kind of get Chris's point because now you have a midfielder who's a bit more who's very dynamic, more dynamic than Jorginho.
Yes,
you've got great wide men, Mudryk,
and then there's Raheem Sterling can come back.
Raheem Sterling and all. Then there's Hakim Ziyech in whatever state of mind he is in, you know. And then there's Joao Felix, and then you don't have the person who completes all of this.
I'm surprised that they did all of this and didn't actually buy a striker.
Yes,
because I was very surprised.
So now they should have looked at what does it look.
Maybe that's coming in.
Let's look at Aubameyang. Let's maybe in Felix, in Modric, in this guy. Now we've got because Aubameyang he was more or less depending on Gallagher and Co. Gallagher. No more came fit training 2 weeks. Much of a Gallagher.
Oh no more 2 weeks LFR.
Well, he's starting alongside Fernandez today.
No, in technique. You're not Gallagher try.
You mean technique?
No more can be ball on looking so near.
No, the truth is,
and we're not going to be on looking.
The truth is, Gallagher playing as a number 10 showed that there was a problem in the midfield. Because Gallagher, the truth is, he's supposed to play next to someone like Jorginho and do the running for him and win the ball back and play simple passes. Just use his energy. Yeah. He's not that technical player like that. So when you see him playing as a number 10, you know there's a problem.
Just quick thoughts on that one. I've just seen a video with Ziyech having to come in at the fans. He looks mad. He looks upset to be there.
I can imagine because he thought he wasn't getting a chance. He wasn't playing.
Yeah, I get a chance to move.
Yeah,
and then you block my move.
Play with Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
Mbappe.
Okay,
Once in a lifetime.
Quick thoughts on the Enzo move. He's starting today. How much of a transformational player is he expected to be for this Chelsea side? Because £106 million is a lot of money.
But I don't understand. 106 million for someone who does similar to what Jorginho does. It doesn't make sense. If you look at the profile and the fee, it doesn't make sense.
That was the clause.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you're in a rush to get a player and you can't wait, you do something like this. And I feel bad for him because everyone's going to look at 106 million. And
he'll be judged for it every night.
Look at the way Paul Pogba was being treated because of his fee. Everyone expected him to be
scoring, 15,
assisting, winning the ball back. Like, you can only do so much. And Enzo Fernandez, his profile is very simple. He's very similar to Jorginho. He's just more dynamic. I would say he's more athletic than Jorginho. So in that way, maybe it's an upgrade. But I don't think he has the intelligence or experience yet in terms of ball retention that Jorginho has. So you are gaining something on one side, but you are losing on the other side. So for me, 105 million at this stage in his development is an overpay. And he might be eventually that 105 level midfielder in like 6 or 7 years, but he's nowhere near there yet.
That's such a long time.
Well, he has an 8-year contract, so it's fine. So I feel bad for him because the fee will put unnecessary expectations on him. Is he a good player? Of course. Will he improve Chelsea more than what they already have? I don't really see it. I think he's a similar level to any of the midfielders they have already. But they are assuming that later in his career, he will be better than them. That's why they are paying this fee. So in the short term, it's a mistake, but in the long term, it might well prove to be a great transfer because it will reach a point maybe he's the best midfielder in the world and they have him locked down. So it's one of those things. The success of the transfer is not this season or next season. It's probably in 3 seasons, 4 seasons, 5 seasons.
Pichichi, Enzo.
Well, I think it just puts pressure on the young star. Yes, he had a great World Cup. We all lauded him for that. But the price tag makes me think that if Enzo is being signed for this amount, then the likes of Michael Essien and Coach should have been signed way more than they were signed because they were proper players. Now, for me, I look at what he offers to this Chelsea team, and I think that he's going to be a solid player for them. The fact that there's no Jorginho for him to compete, there's no N'Golo Kante for him to compete with, it's a good one for him. His development is going to be quite interesting, but the pressure on him, will they be patient with him at this stage of his career? What happens when he commits a mistake? We know how Chelsea fans react. What happens when he doesn't give 100% performances week in, week out? Yes, he was good at the World Cup. He plays for Benfica and all that. But is he that consistent of a player? Can he give you that top-class defensive midfield performance like Casemiro does for Man United week in, week out? I think he's not at that level yet. And it's a matter of Chelsea fans listening to us now and across the globe being patient with him and knowing that this is a 21-year-old. We need to be patient with him. He's not going to be that N'Golo Kante type of defensive midfielder who can go, return, distribute the passes, but cut opposition attack and all that. He's not going to be like Michael Essien as we expect him to be at the moment. But he has a prospect. But as to whether he doesn't go the way they want him to go, would they be patient with him? That's what I'll be looking at. Whether Chelsea fans can be patient with Enzo Fernandez if the move doesn't really go as they expected him to go. He's a good player, but I don't think at the moment, he's in that top class, world class, or that world class DM role. But the price tag, well, as Susu said, if you are desperate for a player, this is how teams can drag you. I think Benfica just played their cards very well. They knew Chelsea were desperate, so let's try to hold on to the player as long as we can.
As long as possible.
And I think even Bryson was trying to do the same thing for Caicedo. They're trying to hold him to see if Arsenal can also do the same. Arsenal couldn't do, but I think it's one of those game plans that teams are adopting at the moment. They want to test how desperate you are, and if they can milk enough from you, they do that. Benfica played their cards. Chelsea bought into it. I also think that at the moment, the pressure on Chelsea to get results means that he'll be scrutinized so well or so much in this Chelsea team.
Yeah.
And for me, I hope that he delivers for the team because it's a gamble where he must deliver. He must. And very soon, I know very soon, they'll start comparing him with the likes of Thomas Partey, Casemiro, and all that in the EPL.
It's unavoidable.
Yeah. You see, that's what Casemiro, nobody compares him to because he's the standard. So the rest will be before you come to Casemiro. And you mean
Casemiro is the DM role.
He's the
role.
Well, okay, we get goal scoring. I told you, goal scoring DM. Ona. Goal scoring DM. We are saying it with ease.
Oh boy.
It's just a matter of time before they start doing that hardcore comparison. It's going to put a lot of pressure on him also. For me, I think I just want to see how Enzo will fare under all this pressure. Whether he can really give his best under all these conditions. For me, I think it has come too soon for him in his career.
Susu made a point this afternoon on TV. And when I think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Susu said that he will be given the Pogba matrix. So all of a sudden,
everything.
Enzo Fernandez, who has played less than 100 professional games, now all of a sudden, Enzo Fernandez has to score 15 goals, has to do 15 assists, has to do 50 tackles, has to be everything in one, simply because of a price tag and a release clause Benfica put on him. 1, to keep him, 2, to make money. So I don't know. I mean, we saw during the World Cup how quality he was, and those who had followed the Portuguese league said this guy was good. And I think those who were not following the Portuguese league got an eye opener. But what I would like to say in all of this, the biggest winners are Benfica, because they spent 80 million euros on this guy. Now they've made 107 million pounds. Yes, they'll have to give River Plate about
25%.
25%. So if you work the numbers, you'll get a good chance.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money Benfica
Everybody
have made.
wins.
That's money they've made. And they've made this kind of money of several players.
No, the factory is too good.
The model makes absolute sense.
The factory is
from
too
goalkeepers, Ederson, from
the factory is good. But it just leaves you, somebody will say, oh, yeah, the Premier League, yeah, they've got money. Yeah, the Premier League has money, but the other leagues benefit from the Premier League money.
Benfica and Porto and Sporting are actually
football is the only place that trickle down economics works. So
only place. Is really, because look at how far this money is going. It's going all the way back to River Plate.
Probably to his
cult
club.
Down to the club that found him, and so it's the only place where the trickle down thing actually works, because FIFA will ensure that Obi Abedidi. Reminds me of the guy who was contesting the youth organizer position during the MP. I've forgotten his name, and then he didn't win. And we were at the stadium that time, and then the Abanga, that's the Abanga. So one other media house that was close to our stand, they were interviewing some delegates. Oh, it's more to Abanga. Then the guy responded, "No, so you'll be able to see young delegates. You mean that."
Well, so I mean that it's only right. Roland from Lamboni. Well, I missed that message. Okay, let me just read that one. He says, "I'm enjoying the show. I've never liked coach's thoughts on Chelsea, but tonight he's saying the right things about Chelsea." Let me go up there. So it says, "Coach, did you see what happened to Kotoko in Karela? Still waiting for the FA statement. Ghana we did."
Yeah, the ball I say.
Ghana football.
This one is from Sir Bob from Ashama. Says, "Please tell Coach Andre Ayew is a son of the maestro Ayew Pele, and there will be shock." He says that there will be shock. This one here is you mean what you are saying is fact?
No, I no call like a cash over you.
Isaka from Ofanko says that, "Good evening, guys. City fan, but I think Arsenal will win the league because they are already playing like champions." This one says the combinations for Chelsea: Mata plus Hazard plus Oscar was Mazaka. Willian plus Hazard was Wizard. Kante plus Enzo is Kanzo. Ni from Dansoma.
They didn't add the recent one.
Chelsea people, we hear you.
Khalidou Koulibaly. Kukurela and Koulibaly, they are flopping.
This one says the people who made the Everton assessment for the day spot on. If Forest play pragmatic, they could use the day. Okay. This one here says that poor guy Southampton Brock from Genk.
He's what? That's what he's a breast.
He's the best. I think the best.
Beast. I think it was Beast.
And scores for fun. I think that's what you wanted to say, Charlie. Charlie, guys, when you are composing these messages,
take your time.
I saw some hat trick. The poor guy scored. If you see the hat trick and you laugh, it's like you kick the ball and hit his other leg and enter.
Charlie, James from Amasaman says, "I love your show, Rough. Chelsea Football Club, we are planning something sweet. Good move for our Ghanaian players, Ayew and Suleimana." Austin from Ashaiman says, "I agree with Nathan. Knowing United, they'll find a neutral agreement to let him go. The Aubameyang situation is comical. I feel bad for him." Coach, let's talk about Sabitzer. Your fans want to hear from you. What does he add to your team?
He's an upgrade of Eriksen.
Hey,
in which sense?
Marcel Sabitzer?
In the current Eriksen state. Eriksen doesn't travel with the ball any longer. True of us.
But he's a quality player.
I'm not saying he's not a quality player. I didn't say so. He receives the ball from Casemiro and then he passes it. left foot, right foot, 60, 70, 80 yards. Sabitzer, that same with Chiki Ease. In addition to doing that, when he sees the space, I will no more Sabitzer, Kewaya.
But if he's such a good player, why is Bayern letting him go?
You see, Bayern, let me tell you the problem at Bayern. He was in direct competition
with Goretzka,
Kimmich. Those two guys are the central midfielders of the German national team.
You are an Austrian player.
Mokolebo Yeko. She Bayern, I'm here to Quante. Onani Bayern, he player Neshada.
You mean no to Guantains in our team?
Bayern never buys a player who shine. Even Choupo-Moting put him, turn him into a world-class striker. Choupo-Moting. So if Bayern spends money on you, you are a good player. Put that aside. Unless you've not watched Sabitzer play. Defensively, can you imagine? Alongside Casemiro. Now we've got two proper passes of the ball. One of which is a ball carrier. One of which, the two of them are all goal-scoring defensive midfielders.
Goal-scoring DMs.
In Lakabo no more. Yache. Call your bete. Yache. Tomorrow Sabitzer on show.
No, the training session in your feet.
Oh, I listened to Ten Hag today. He says he's ready. He said he understands the role. He understands the job. So he's ready to roll.
Ready to roll.
No more a rolly. Oh, no, yawo, gay by force, yabeshi.
Rollies and cigars.
So he's a good player. Left foot, right foot, everything is there. Team player. He hates to lose football game. That is the mentality that Ten Hag is building. Right now, watch United go. Tomorrow, Crystal Palace come a year cry.
United's record against Palace in the last 3-4 years.
They came and they beat us. There was it last season. Can't worry.
They've beaten United twice at Old Trafford. 2-1, 3-1.
Yes. It's not only. This is Ten Hag. And he's already told them, look, you remember Ten Hag watched Man United play Crystal Palace last season when he was given the job. He was not happy. He watched them about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, the 1-1.
I'm not happy. Tomorrow, difference. Look, Sabitzer is a quality player, unless you don't want to. Look, when the news broke that United were going after him, I went to the United portal, the United stand. I wanted to hear what everybody say. Get him, get him, get him, get him. Oh yeah! In less than 8 minutes, he was on the flight. Ebashian. That is proper home, proper home. Come and see proper home and play proper football. And if you listen to the play, he said the moment he got the message that Eric Ten Hag called the people at Bayer. In fact, we were going for the Dutch boy, the Gravenberg, is it Gravenberg? Gravenberg boy. And Bayer actually refused that option. And then they gave the option. Do you like Sabitzer? Eric said, I thought that one is a no-go area. He would have been the one I would have come for. So if he no babo.
Reminds me of
I can't believe this.
Reminds me of the Casemiro story.
No babo. And then you see, it was so smooth and quick.
Smooth and quick.
No delay. So he's a good player. And look, the Premier League will see that starting from tomorrow. I mean, look, once Casemiro is the one alongside him, and the awareness man is in front of them, and the butcher is behind them, passing the ball from deep, passing the ball from the back with proper accuracy and distribution, there is cohesion. There is proper transition. There is proper attacking play. I just hope that all my players will stay fit. We will not say Sabitzer plus well gods is equal to Gongomi.
No. You didn't get that.
Oh, Niaba.
Don't do that.
The equation. There was an
La vista.
We will not do that because if you put them together, it doesn't add up. We will not construct any useless equation to justify our players. They will play on the pitch and we will see their move.
Charlie.
Aguna.
I can't believe
so he's a good player.
How are you feeling about that move, Marcel Sabitzer?
I will speak from a perspective of of somebody who's watched Man United always sleep and not act quick. I was very surprised United actually jumped in very quickly and got this done. And I commend United for one thing they've struggled to learn how to do things on the quiet. Because 2 years ago, this deal would have been everybody would have known that United were going for a player.
It's Ten Hag.
But the decision to act very quickly, and for Eric Ten Hag, you see, it's important that when I always say that when you have proper coaches who want a system to work, it's good because for those who may not know, Eric Ten Hag was Pep Guardiola's number 2 at Bayern Munich. So he does have a connection with the club. He has a relationship with the club. And the people who were there in Pep's time, they haven't changed much. So it's very easy to rely on those connections. Reach out and say, okay, what are your options? And for Bayern Munich, I think Bayern Munich acted really honorably. Once United reached out, he said, okay, look, you can't get Gravenberg. There's this guy available. He's not playing. He's third, fourth choice. He's not getting minutes. Ten Hag says, Sabitzer, I know who he is. Sabitzer, do you want to come and play? All right, let's get this done quickly. So I was quite delighted with the speed of the transfer. I like the reason behind the deal. Now, Sabitzer is a very different type of player in terms of the mobility, energy. He has what Eriksen doesn't have. Eriksen has never been the quickest. He's strong.
Quick.
So United
Very
are getting
athletic.
a player who has different sides. And it's important that United have acted quickly to plug a hole because what Eriksen has given United since the start of the season, United hasn't seen that in years. They haven't seen that in years. A player who gives them rhythm, a player who says, let's play at 10 miles per hour. It's okay, it's not working. Let's play at 5. Let's play at 2. Let's speed it up. Let's slow it down. Because I say that every top team has one. Man City have Rodri. Liverpool have Thiago. Arsenal has Partey. So you cannot say you are a serious team and yet not have somebody who gives you rhythm. Not Scott McTominay.
Charlie.
Not Fred, who in his mind actually wants to get the work done, but his execution can be faulty. Now you have Eriksen, who's helped, and Casemiro's addition has really taken Man United to a good level. So I'm happy that Ten Hag is seeing, in his mind, he knows where he wants to take the team. I'm happy that the players have bought into this idea. And I'm happy that he seems to be getting the support of I won't say the board, but John Mehta.
Which is good friend Mehta.
Yeah.
Mehta.
I'm a fan. What you are? They are concubines or alliance of Ed Woodward.
But are they not bringing in
I'm a
players?
fan machine. No more.
So yeah, I'm
new owners, new everything.
But I'm happy with the acquisition. As to what I'm still not too sure if Sabitzer should play against Palace tomorrow. I don't know his physical state.
Fit.
Well, yeah. Eric Ten Hag confirmed that he's 100%
He's
ready.
reasonable.
He's ready
Marcel
to.
Sabitzer has always been an actually very fit
Marcel
footballer.
Sabitzer has
Yeah.
been very, so that's
Strong,
good.
ready to go guy.
I mean, I'm happy for Man United. I see what I like. At least they are thinking about the problems of the team, and in Eric Ten Hag's own unique way. If he doesn't get a player from outside, he's getting to improve players. Look at Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Whoever thought would see Aaron Wan-Bissaka play like the way he's playing? Calm on the ball, more poise, more guile. Not the player who's running up and down and doesn't even know what to do with the ball when he crosses the halfway line. And that's why I say coaching is everything. Yes. A good coach plus a player who's willing to learn, you get things. I always say, look at Raheem Sterling. For those who say coaching doesn't work, look at Raheem Sterling. When he played at Liverpool and when he left City, if we put the two players side by side, you wouldn't recognize them. Simply because he got a manager who said, Raheem, you are at level 2. By the time I'm done with you, you get to level 10. And we saw where Raheem Sterling got to. So good coaches always improve players. Good coaches will always, it doesn't matter where they work. So the United fans who were up in arms and were supporting Ole till death. Have you seen what proper coaches can do?
You just have to go there. You just have to go there with the slide tackle.
Fans, you have seen what good coaches will do for you when they bring sensible players, when they are teaching players sensible things. Look at Marcus Rashford these days. Have you seen how he's playing?
What about Rashford?
But we're talking about Marcus Rashford. He needs to be told.
Yeah.
You see, if you want, you should look at. You see, Haaland doesn't go looking for goals. So the goals come to Erling Haaland. So Marcus Rashford needs to understand that when he gets into the box, his first is, hey, where's the goalkeeper? No. Look for a teammate. You see, because if you work well, the goal will find you. If you work well, so I get him. He wants to go on a good scoring. We like that. Score. But please, when you are playing, to open your eyes and pass to those in better positions so they can also score. Because if the scoreline is red, don't say Marcus Rashford 3, Anthony Martial 2. No, they'll say Man United 5.
Guess what I'm doing, guys? I'm just looking at some of our comments on YouTube. I'm just cracking up right now. Somebody says the way Chelsea are going, they will soon buy Adosho Boy. What? What? What is the meaning of this? I don't know what's going on there. But Chelsea fans are having an absolute ball with this Enzo stuff. They are actually playing as we speak. Now it's goalless, I believe.
Yeah, it's still goalless.
Between them and Fulham Football Club. That's just about it for my share. So let me just hear from you quick thoughts on this Sabitzer stuff or any of the transfers that has gone under the radar that you possibly want to touch on. A transfer that caught your eye that we haven't really talked about.
I think Pedro Porro to Space.
Yeah.
Because we've been seeing what Emerson Royale has been doing for the last year. It's not been good. Matt Doherty has also left. So
They did him dirty, pal.
They terminated his deal and allowed him to go.
Yeah. They did right by him, in my opinion. But look, it remains to be seen how that works out for Space because they've been complaining they don't have a right wing back. And that's why they are not playing well. Me, I don't buy it. There's a lot more wrong with that team than but let's see how much a right wing back improves them. So let's see whether that can push them into the top 4 conversation. That improvement. Okay. And also they have Danjuma, who's a versatile attacker and can make a difference in the final third. So I think Spurs have had a decent. I mean, they've had a good January because in January you're not expected to make game-changing signings usually.
I think Chelsea have just. They might have just changed the culture of January transfer windows.
I don't think so.
Let's just
because look at the money they threw at these things. I think every club looking at them will be thinking to themselves, that's our summer budget. They spent and Chelsea have spent 150% of their revenue in transfers in like about 6 months. It's not sustainable.
And the money they've blown, the money they. I think this eclipses.
That's more money than all the top 5
I'm
leagues.
saying this money.
All the clubs in the top 5 leagues.
Eclipses what Roman did. I mean, this spree.
This is a quarter of what Abramovich spent
in 17
years. Like
so in months, like in a few months, Chelsea have blown.
So look,
this is the real. There's cash.
So
not near bars. There's cash.
Oh, that mean what cash?
Near bar and now that he doesn't even know who is buying his team.
Only
do you even know who's buying your team?
I told you who has. I told you. It's the when I say some of this, you don't want to listen. But when it materializes, that's when you accept it. Hey, next week I come
by now they say your owners. They don't know if they want to do minority stake in the team.
There's nothing like that.
No, they say the way they're looking at Ten Hag things, the team is about to come into glory again.
No, on a party if you try to it's imagine it's me Jabuchi Glazer. What if you try to Glazer? Kelly. Lenche bana no na.
I can't believe how you just described Joe Glazer.
It's imagine if you no need that.
I haven't heard that word in like 20 years. I can't believe I'm saying Simon Jolie. What? What era are we in, right? Wait, what?
I heard it back in jazz.
I can't believe you just brought that word. Simon Jolie. Nah, I'm dead. So let me just go through the EPL fixtures so we can do a few shout-outs before we go. Everton, Arsenal is our early kickoff game tomorrow. Tasty. Yeah, Everton are reeling. Arsenal will be licking their chops at this one.
I must say the introduction or the signing of Jorginho comes perfectly for Arsenal. Just when Partey's injury situation.
Yeah,
is
they've been
there,
playing some
and
mind games on
then
whether
they
he'll
have
be
an
eligible to
injury.
start
So,
tomorrow.
It's a good timing for them.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, he's playing tomorrow.
He's doubtful, but it's a good timing for them to have such a backup for him. I think it's a
Just in
solid
case
sign.
they can play him for like 70
the timing
minutes.
is perfect for
Bring
Arsenal
on
at the moment.
Jorginho.
This means that they're going to keep their momentum on the title on. I think what they need is
Arsenal look
Jorginho
like they're
now.
playing with
They
some
need
swagger.
Jorginho
They
now.
look like they know they'll win the title. I don't know. Aston Villa versus Leicester. There's Brentford, Southampton, Brighton, Bournemouth, Man United, Palace. It's a game I want. I feel like a few things could happen.
Zaha ena akonwe ejemi.
Oliseke eze yemi.
Oh man, Uzi get Olisi. What man woduba?
Wolves versus Liverpool, a game I don't want to see. Newcastle versus I don't want to see. I'm off all things Liverpool for the rest of the season.
Why?
Newcastle versus West Ham is also happening. On Sunday, we have very interesting games. There's Forest versus Leeds. I'm guessing Andrea you will make his debut, knowing Steve Cooper.
Some 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Friends of Nottingham, we are here.
There's Tottenham versus Man City. That's a game Arsenal will have their eyes on. Tottenham are at home on this one. We'll see if they can actually shake up something. But
Yeah, but talking about Man City, I think we haven't said anything about this Joao Cancelo.
Oh yes,
Charlie, that move shook me.
Me and Pichichi argued about this in their car for like 1 hour.
Shout out.
Shout out.
I want to give a shout out to the management committee of the Black Galaxies.
Oh,
Me, Abba.
And if you understand me, Abba, when I start giving such shout out,
then it's serious.
Then there are problems. I'm going to ask some questions in my shout out. Next week, God willing, when we come here, I will release all the info.
Release.
To the management of the Black Galaxy, is it true that the per diems of the players of the Black Galaxies were not paid in full? When they go and collect the money from the ministry accountant, in disbursing the money to the boys, then they will reduce the money. They themselves are taking per diems.
True. So you are asking.
I'm asking if it is true. Me, I know that it is true, but I'm asking whether to them it is true.
Ask if it is true.
Is it true? So is it true? What you heard, is it true?
Is it true that what I am hearing is that the Black Galaxies players $150 per diem for 5 days is $750. For 7 days is 1,000 something. They should come and clarify that. We have spoken to some of the players, and what they are telling us,
You are asking, is
I am
it true?
asking the management committee.
Edmond
Aka, you are my friend, good friend.
Is it true?
Is it true that Edmond Aka, people, the boys per diem were not given to them? Next week, when we come, as part of my shout out, we'll come and make sure that question is answered. Come out and answer the question. If you don't come out, then it means it's true. So next week when I come, free galore. This is fire Kashinano.
This be interesting shout out.
That's my shout out to the management committee. Coach Ano Walker.
Yeah.
Numo Matabu. Only Anokole Numo. Only Anokale Numo coach Ano Walker. Only Anokale.
Is it true?
Is it true that Obi, one of the reasons why they couldn't perform is that even their per diems were being slashed by certain elements.
Is it true?
Is it true?
By certain people at the FE.
Point well made. Susu.
Oh, I'll just shout out our listeners. Thank you for being here.
Nice one there. Pichichi, Nathan. Okay, so
shouts to everybody who listens to us every Friday.
Yes,
we appreciate that. So yeah, keep doing that.
Big shout outs to everybody. Exactly. Anil Sabute, Arsenal fan. These days, your guy has come power because your team is on form. And big shout outs to Sam Ziga as well. Happy belated birthday to Joseph Payne. So you celebrated your birthday during the week. So big shout outs to you out there. Big shout outs to everybody who made time to listen. We will take a quick break. When we get back, we'll be getting into that game between Chelsea and Fulham. We'll leave you with live radio commentary on that particular one.